Hi, today I'm reviewing the Cosrx Centella Blemish Cream. And really quick, I just want to say I purchase these products with my own money. So help me keep the channel independent and check out my products at the Amazon link below. So recently I picked up, I love Cosrx, so I love trying a lot of their products. And there's a handful of them that I haven't tried yet, and this product was one of them. So I thought I would pick it up and give it a try, and I'm going to let you guys know my thoughts on it based on my Sarah score scale. So my first criteria is packaging, and this comes in a very small jar, but jars just aren't efficient to contain antioxidants, especially light and air sensitive ones, which the Centella or the Cica plant is one of those. This also contains some other good antioxidants, but the jar packaging just isn't the best, especially if you're going to apply this like it's recommended to targeted areas. So it's going to take you a while to go through this jar unless you use it over your entire face. So each time you open it, the ingredients kind of slowly degrade, losing their effectiveness. So for this product, I would much rather have seen this packaged in like a squeeze tube. That would have been so much better and easier and more efficient. So I know they have a couple products Cosrx did that were formerly packaged in jars, which are now in squeeze tubes. So maybe that's what they're planning on doing with all of their jar products. So hopefully we'll see. So anyway, so not a huge fan of that. My second criteria is alcohol, and this does not contain any denatured alcohols, which is always a very good thing. My third criteria is fragrance, and this doesn't contain any added fragrance. However, it does contain a very, very small amount of tea tree oil, which gives it a little bit of a scent to that, but not anything overpowering, and it dissipates almost immediately, so it's not, again, a very big issue. And tea tree oil in smaller amounts can also help breakouts and things like that. In larger amounts, they can become more of a skin irritant because of how potent it can be, but if you're using it in smaller amounts, it can be a very helpful thing. So my fourth criteria is the manufacturing location, and this is made in Korea, so no issues with that. My fifth criteria is ease of use, and so they say you can apply this to spot treatments. I tried it in spot treatments as well as all over my face, and you don't want to apply this all over your face because, especially if you've already used a toner in a serum, this just does not soak in well. It takes a long time for it to soak in, and for me, when I was using it all over my face, it really never soaked in at all. So I wouldn't recommend using this during the daytime for that reason as well. However, looking at other reviews, it sounds like some people didn't have any issues with that, or it just wasn't a big of a concern. So that's why I'd recommend using it to spot treatments, because even after massaging into my skin for long periods of time, it's still just left a visible white cast. So it's very thick and it just doesn't absorb fully. So I really would not recommend using this during the daytime, and at nighttime it's going to be more effective just using it as spot treatment. But that's why I really didn't like it, because it just wasn't very aesthetically pleasing. Even at nighttime, I don't want to look at my face and see a thick layer of moisturizer on it. So obviously a spot treatment is where you're going to want to go with that. So it also contains a lot of zinc, which is probably the cause of the white color. It's the same ingredient that's in a lot of mineral sunscreens that give some of those sunscreens that kind of white cast that people get. So that's in this in a high amount as well. So probably the main reason for that huge white cast. So although a lot of sunscreens nowadays are a little bit more aesthetically pleasing and they've figured out ways to kind of work around that or tint it, this one just has a lot of zinc in it. And I don't know, there's a little bit of research about zinc and breakouts and things like that, and there's just not a real wealth of it out there. A lot of studies or anything showing what percentage helps, why it helps. So I know there's a handful of skincare products. The Ordinary is one that has zinc in it, and I've heard from some of my subscribers that mentioned that zinc has really helped, but there's just not a ton of research. So I don't know. If you're dealing with that, I would probably recommend going with something that's got a lot of proven research behind, like salicylic acid or benzoyl peroxide, things like that. But something like this, I don't know, some people swear by it, so there's nothing wrong with that. Just for me, it was not the winner. So on to my sixth criteria, which is antioxidants, and it's got the Cica plant, Centella asiatica, I think is how you say it. tea tree oil, so it's got a few of good antioxidants in there, which is good for your skin. But like I said, you can probably get that from a different product that doesn't leave this kind of white cast. A couple ones, actually, both of these are Cosrx brand that I would recommend over that. And one of them is the Centella Blemish Ampoule. An ampule, you probably all know this, but it's similar to a serum, but an ampule just contains a little bit stronger ingredient base. So it's a little bit stronger than a serum. So this one focuses on the Centella plant as well. And this one is an oil, and it goes on very nicely. So this one I would recommend over the cream. It's just much more easy to use. And doesn't take as much effort to kind of massage it in and things. So I really like that one. Another good one that I like is the Centella Water Alcohol-Free Toner. This one also contains the same active ingredient, but again, it's much more aesthetically pleasing and easy to use. So both of these are things I would recommend over the Blemish Cream. So, and then they contain the same ingredient that you're kind of comparing them to. So those are a couple ideas. If you're looking for something and you're not thinking this is going to work out, check out these two. They're awesome. So both of my new bottles of these. So second bottle for both. So on to my 7th criteria, which is animal testing, and the Cosrx brand. From everything I've read, is cruelty-free, although it's hard to exactly find a lot of information on some of the up-and-coming K-beauty brands, but their website and things indicate that. So there's a lot of conflicting information on it. So just depends on what website you look at and what day it is, I guess. So my 8th criteria is performance. And, the times I use this, I actually thought it made my skin feel worse and more prone to breakouts just because it left kind of that thick haze over my skin, and it felt like it kind of suffocated my skin. However, if you're using this as a spot treatment, I could see how that might help. But for me, it just made my skin feel worse. And after using it several times, I was like, I'm done. I'm not going to use it again, because every time I use it, my skin just ends up looking worse. I don't know, sometimes like sunblocks, if you don't wash them off well enough, you can get breakouts from that. And I don't know, sometimes a higher amount of zinc to me for my skin just doesn't like it. Especially in a leave-on overnight product like that. So, I don't know. Just didn't work for me, but other people swear by it. So, my 9th criteria is the price. And I believe this was around $12, I want to say. So, very affordable. And, of course, there's always sales. Just depends on where you pick it up at. I found a site, yesstyle.com, and I've been really loving it because they have access to more K-beauty products than I can get back in the U.S. on typical sites like Sephora or Ulta. So I'm loving that site, and they usually have really good deals too. So I think I bought all 3 of these products there. So liking that. And then on to my 10th criteria, which is the it factor. And obviously you guys can tell I'm not a huge fan of this. And there's better Cosrx products out there than this one is. So I really recommend checking those out and skipping this one altogether. Yeah, so you can see my hand still never really soaked in. So yeah, that's kind of my experience with it. Just wasn't the best. But check these two out because they're much better. So in my opinion. So anyway, overall on the scale out of 10, this got a 6. There's if you're going to use it as a spot treatment and you like Cosrx and don't have an issue with the aesthetics, I guess maybe try it if you've had good luck with zinc. But if you haven't good luck with zinc in the past and you like the Sika plant, check these two things out. So anyway, so I'm interested if you guys have had a chance to try this out yet or not, or if you've tried any of these out, or if you've got like another Holy Grail product, let me know what it is. So leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys. I try and write back to everybody, so give me a chance to. It takes a little bit of time, but I try and get back to everyone. So anyway, so definitely leave a comment and check out the Amazon link below and nobsbeauty.com. Thank you so much, guys.